This episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on FilmRiot, birdies. Crazy birdies, yo. Welcome to FilmRiot, the takes the mystery out of the effects and techniques. Go to I'm your host, Ryan
George
Conley.
Foreman.
I'm not, no.
You're George Foreman this
Nope.
episode.
No.
Hey, George.
Hey, man. Before we get into it today, if you haven't seen it, be sure to check out our video about the 5-year celebration episode. You can be involved, and we're giving away $18,000 worth of prizes, so definitely check that out right here. But now, birdies. I don't know why I'm whispering. What shot? This shot.
And After Effects would send him letters in return.
This shot was animated by Tim Allen. If you don't remember him, it's this guy. You know, Tim. You guys remember him, right? This guy? Anyway, the first thing Tim had to do was gather assets that he needed to make this happen. These birds were hand-drawn by a really talented artist named Ashton Bynum. She drew the birds in 4 poses, showing the wings up, middle, down, and then 1 transitional. So now, if we cycle through these pictures, you can see we have our animation just that simply. Since the artist set it up perfectly, all we have to do is cut from one cell to the other. We also requested that the birds be sent in a few layers. For how simple this shot is, you really only need to separate the head, eyes, and body, and you'd be good to go. We had more layers than that, but didn't really use them. So we bring our images into After Effects, create a comp for them, and chuck them in, and now we create our flight cycle. We're gonna do this by leaving each of these frames on for about 1 frame in order to get them to play out. So first position, second, third, then fourth, all just 1 frame. And if I close this section out and preview it, you'll see we have a cycle that's looking pretty good. Of course, you could slow this down if you want, but it starts looking wrong to me. Even at 2 frames, it just looks a little bit too slow. Now to make this cycle loop, I will change each layer to last the length of the comp, then change the opacity so that each is at 100% for only 1 frame. Then we drop it to 0. Then I will scatter that out in the order that I want so that the first is at 100% right away, then to 0, which is when the second is going to be at 100%, and so on throughout that. In the end, we have that cycle back. Now we can copy paste this all the way down the timeline until we have that cycle complete throughout this entire comp. Tim put together an extended tutorial that goes through this in much more detail, and he shows how you can use an expression instead of this copy-paste method. But in case you don't want to do the expression thing for some reason, boom. 2 options. But now we bring our bird comp into the main comp, which already has our letters and tracking all done, all sexy like for us. And we will set the bird to 3D, parent him to the null that we created for the L, then 0 the bird out by hitting P for position, set 0 for all these numbers to send the bird to its true 0 point. Then position him over the letter where we want, change the anchor point to the feet so that it rotates more the way we want, which is going to be more at that feet to be the pivot point, not the center of him. And now we will click the stopwatch for XYZ rotation and go through the shot, tweaking the bird to move how we want it to throughout. And now we have it mostly almost there. Now a little breakalicious, and then we finish this guy off, which sounds weird. So a few weeks back, we challenged you guys to come up with a Dinotastic website for us. Yes, me and Josh on dinos fighting each other or fighting something, and you guys did not disappoint. Look at this one, or this. Our heads tracked on a Dinos for Lost World, or this goodness, or this. But we had to pick just one winner of awesomeness, and that's this one right here, an online game made by Jason Kingery. This is amazing. Makes me want to make a real iOS game.
I have a Red Bull. My dinosaur has a Red Bull.
I know, and I'm like rocked.
And I'm wearing a dress.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you, sir, will be contacted by us soon for your prize. But Josh, guess what he needed to make that awesomeness?
He needed a website!
Yes, he did. And can I tell you something? The best place to go is Domain.com. They got the most affordable and reliable hosting services and a domain discovery service that's like an intelligent slot machine of name picking.
It's so awesome! It's so awesome! It's so awesome!
Plus, if you use the coupon code FilmRiot at checkout, you get 15% off, just like that, like magic.
It's like magic!
It's like magic. We're like the magic mic of the internet.
Oh, it's magic!
No.
You know.
When you think domain names, think domain.com.
It's magic!
Logo.
So now we make this son of a bird blink and turn his head because reasons.
Because reasons.
First is the head move, this. So we're gonna find where we want the head to move, which is gonna be right about here, go into the bird comp, then take these other two versions of the head that the artist gave us, and just like we did with the wings, we're gonna cut between them to get the illusion of movement. For this, we will do about 3 frames to make the move a bit slower, otherwise it's gonna look a touch creepy. And then hold out the last clip for the rest of the comp, and it's easy, and it's done. We got the bird looking at the actor. Final thing for animation is to add some blinking, and this is pretty much done the same way. Again, we have another layer just for the eyes, open and close, so all we have to do is cycle the layer's opacity between 0 and 100 in the spots that we want the bird to blink. The speed Tim chose for that was about 3 frames as well. Super simple, and we got a bird blinking. Now we want to make the bird feel more like it's actually there in the scene. First thing to do, of course, is to mask out foreground objects that the bird should be behind, like the box and the actor. And again, we're just going to use Rotobrush to get that done. So click the Rotobrush icon here, double click your video, then paint the areas you want to mask. To refine, hold Alt and paint out the areas you don't want, and then go frame by frame, making sure this is doing exactly what you want. Like I said last week, it's not perfect, but if you take some time to give it the love it deserves, you're gonna get a really solid mask. After that, we're gonna add some curves, jack the brightness down, and keyframe that to go back up to normal as the box is getting open. That way it looks like the bird is in shadows at first as that lid opens up, adding some nice interaction there. Then we're gonna add a fast blur and go through the shot, keyframing the blur amount to follow the actual focus pool of the shot. And with all those goodies in place, we have
After Effects would send him letters in return.
bam, a bird all up in your shot looking better than babies with rabies. But my lovely lady lumps, that is all for today. But again, if you want a super in-depth version of how to pull every bit of this off, go to this link right here. Tim put together a whole tutorial just for this. Good stuff to be had by your face area. Also, something I am extremely excited about is our limited edition 5-year anniversary FilmRiot poster. This bad boy right here. Once again designed by Adam Rabley, who did an incredible job as usual. He was able to fit some of our most memorable moments and characters. Every poster also is going to come signed by the current cast of FilmRiot as well, and these are very limited. We only made like 900, I think. After they're gone, we're not going to be making any more, so I wanted to give you guys an advance notice because the posters are going to go on sale next Thursday at 12 p.m. CST. So if you love the show and you would like to show your support and decorate your walls with some memories, make sure to check that out on our site next week. It is first come, first serve, so if you definitely want to have one, make sure you get yours right away to be sure you do, in fact, get one. But that's it. I'll see you guys next week when I try to explain chaos theory in a moving vehicle.
They totally want to buy the poster.